Hi guys, my name is Amy. I am one of the team at the Hush Foundation, and can I just say how grateful we are that you are joining us for this year's Gathering of Kindness. It's very exciting to think that because we're going online, this could reach many more people than ever before. So we're really actually very excited by this next step. And also excited that with your help, we're going to build some resources that are going to be really helpful for our healthcare services and organisations. This video is ultimately to help with setting up your camera the way that will be fit for purpose for if you're recording an interview or if you're just doing a recording direct to camera. So if you've got a 3-minute clip of something that you have to say. So I guess ultimately I would start by saying that this little setup here, so me being close to natural light, you being able to see my hands and gestures like that is kind of the perfect setup. And it's also really quiet, so you're just hearing what I have to say. There's no sort of background noises and sounds. It's a really quiet area and spot. So something like this is prime for an interview. So if you can find a light office area or light space in your home, that's really the preference, because it means that there's less shadowing on your face. And people can kind of see more of your gestures, and it feels more bright and more exciting because of that. The way I'm recording this is actually on my phone camera. So your phone camera is going to be the go-to here. And instead of having my phone so it's face up like it normally would if I'm texting, I've actually turned it to its side. So this is a side view. I think it's known as landscape, where basically you turn your camera on its side so it's actually lengthier. And it just means that when you're recording, you see a lot more on the sides here, which actually ultimately helps the whole picture look a bit better. So we just ask all recordings be on their side, or your phone be on your side for the recording. So this would be the ideal view for being interviewed. So answering the questions that you have to say. And the way you would sort of answer it is, we're kind of imagining if you're being interviewed as if it's like a chat over the computer or over a Zoom session. And it might actually be how you log in and have your conversation. So you'd log into Zoom, but you wouldn't actually respond in Zoom, you would respond direct to camera. And the way you would do that is, rather than looking at yourself and your own view, you would find out where you're being recorded, and you would look at that, and that's where you would answer your questions. And that just means that for the person watching this, they feel as if you're speaking to them. So it actually gives that really more intimate conversation that's direct to the audience or the people watching you, the viewers. So that's how you would actually respond to the questions that you're being asked. Whereas I keep pointing over here because I've got a computer screen here, and I want to show you a little bit about what the interviewer looks like as well in a second. But this is how you would look responding to the person asking you the questions. You would actually respond in that camera there, in a setting just like this. Now, if you're being interviewed, and I'm very sorry, I'm going to move the camera, so apologies if it's a bit jerky for you and a bit funny sounding, but if you're interviewing somebody, you'd actually have a setting that looks a little bit something like this. And I'm going to show you one other view as well, which is probably my preferable view for me, but I'm giving you two options. So this is for the person that's asking the questions. So the interviewer, rather than looking at the camera, you're going to be looking at the computer, because this means that it kind of gives the illusion that you're asking someone the questions in this camera view and they're responding out of the screen, which the viewers will see from the interviewee. Does that make sense? That's a lot of words altogether. But this is basically the setup that you would have. So now, again, a really light space. You can see my hand gestures, but you can also see the screen without seeing the screen in the front. You see a side screen view. So I would ask my questions about how your day been, all the questions that I have to ask. And this is kind of how I would do it. What I'm going to show you again for the interviewer again is another view, which is probably I think I said before, my personal preference. I'm so sorry, that's very shaky for you. But this is the way that I would probably do it otherwise, another side view. So again, you can still see the screen that I'm asking the questions through, but you can see more of my facial features and facial gestures here. So this to me just feels a bit more intimate, and also just less invasive, seeing something here as opposed to seeing it here, which is a bit closer to the screen. So this would be the setup for the person interviewing, asking the questions. The way you're going to set this up, guys, if you are having an interview, is you would jump onto Zoom. I think Zoom's probably going to be the easiest way. We can set up a Zoom session for you if you'd like. And so you'd still have the conversation via Zoom, but the way you answer those questions would be a little bit different. So it's going to feel a little bit jarring because I think one person's going to be asking questions, but the person answering's not going to be looking in that screen. They're going to be looking at this camera here. So forgive us for that. It will feel a bit jarring, but ultimately it's going to provide us with the best footage. So let me know how you go. Ideally, if you can look to try and, start your recording at the same time, that's fantastic, but there's really no pressure there. We can work that out in the editing suite, so no problems about that. And then after your interview, you say your goodbyes, and then about 5 seconds after you say your goodbyes, that's when you turn your recording off. So not as soon as you said goodbye, but about 5 seconds after. That just means that, for whatever reason, your goodbyes are not going to be cut off, and it can be easier for us to edit out. So sort of that fade out stuff that you see on some of the footage. So 5 seconds before you start and 5 seconds after you start is ideal. I'll also quickly show you, I'm sorry, I know this video is going very long, but I'm going to just quickly tell you, just in case it's helpful for our interviewers especially, and interviewees, the interviews we're having, is we'd probably be looking to do a Hush logo or something at the start, and then show your interview. And if you've got certain photos or stuff that you talk about that you want us to add into the editing, swing those along to us as well. I'm going to put this in writing for you, but I did want to just say, if there's stuff that's going to help you better tell the stories that you have to say, or excerpts of your book that you kind of want us to put on the screen, please let us know about that, because that'll help us in our editing if we know the kind of highlights that you want us to put in the editing as well. So let us know about that. Otherwise, I really wish you well. I hope it goes okay. If you've got any questions beforehand or at the time, please yell out. I know that some of us are not in Australia, so we can work together via email to sort this out. Or of course, I would be really happy, guys, if you just wanted to see second eyes over it before you hit record, just to give me a bell. There'd be some times that I'm not going to be available, but if I can, I always will answer that call. Or we can organise a call prior, just to see the setup that you've got and make sure it's going to be fit for purpose. Thank you so much, guys, for watching a crazily long 7.5 minute video. Oh, wishing you all the best. Bye-bye.